When I was preparing my homily for today, I struggled to find what really this gospel wants to say to us. You know? After reading and reading again, meditating and meditating again, asking about this gospel again and again, finally, I found at least there are 2 points from today's gospel. We read the final passage of John's Gospel, chapter 21, verses 20 to 25. Peter and John, 2 of Jesus' followers, are mentioned. So I would like to focus on these 2 disciples. Regarding them, 2 different interpretations emerge. First, in John chapter 21, verse 22, Jesus invites Peter to accompany him. Peter is kept from worrying about John's future by Jesus. Peter has to concentrate on his mission and calling. Second is about John. John identifies himself as the disciple who bears witness to the life, death, and resurrection of Jesus Christ. The world would not be able to hold all of these things if they were all written down. This means that the complete mystery of Jesus, the Word becoming flesh, is beyond the capacity of limited humanity. We cannot really and fully understand or comprehend the mystery of Jesus. There is always something left out of our reach. So what can we reflect on today's gospel? At least there are 2 notes. The first one is the calling of Peter. You must follow me. It's a powerful appeal from Jesus to Peter, and this call follows Peter's inquiry for the cherished disciples' faith. The Lord prudently forbids Peter from caring for the life of another. Peter should not be occupied with useless inquiry. Sometimes we waste our time by asking questions about our neighbors. Many times it's useless questions, only waste time. So here we learn the danger of comparing when taking a call. Peter was called and he asked Jesus, what about him? You know? Peter did not concentrate on Jesus' call. Lord, what about him? Peter said when he saw John, humanity's inclination to contrast one's own calling with another's is reflected in this question. What is that to you? What is your business about him? Jesus corrects him right away. Obedience is not generated by comparison. Only jealousy and worry are. Usually because we are jealous, we are worried about others, then we compare ourselves with them. He's better than me. He's more beautiful than me. So what, That's because of our jealousy, not because of our obedience. So, the fundamentals of calling is adhering to Jesus. This passage's first teaching is an exhortation to follow God's calling with whole trust, unaffected by the root of others. Each of us has a different responsibility that does not have to be compared to that of our brother or sister. Success is determined by obedience to Jesus, not by our popularity or by our pride, by our appearance and so forth. The second one is about John's testimony. John claims to be the disciple who bears witness to every moment of Jesus' life from his public ministry until his resurrection. He writes honestly about what he saw and heard, yet he is aware that Christ's works are far greater than what is written in his gospel. So look at this. John is so humble. He was entrusted to write about Jesus, but he acknowledged that his ability is very limited, nothing compared to the richness of Jesus' mystery. Human limitation, abundance of divine mercy. The world could not hold all the books that would be written if every work of Jesus were recorded or documented. This is not a physical statement, but a theological one. Finite humanity can never fully understand the entire mystery of Jesus, the Word made flesh. Written testimony is merely the doorway to faith. So the gospel, my dear sisters and brothers, are the doorway to faith. We read the gospel, we meditate on the gospel, we try to find the messages in the gospel to find way to enter into the mystery of Jesus Christ. So I think this is a reminder for us to read, to reflect, and the most important thing is to live out the gospel, because by living out the gospel, we will understand much better about Jesus. But if we only read and meditate, but do not practice it, we cannot find Jesus. That's why, my dear sisters and brothers, these two notes invite us to take two concrete actions. First, live out God's calling without comparing yourself to others. Second, give testimony based on the gospel record that already exists. It's enough. Just read it, explore it, meditate on it, and then live it out. The way is simple. Read the gospel, reflect on it, and live it out in our daily lives. Now, modern congregation, many Christians, many Catholics, many parishioners often busy themselves with gossip, ministry comparison, and unnecessary theological speculation. John chapter 21, verses 20 to 25 reminds us to faithfully follow Jesus and witness him through our lives. No need to wait for wonderful miracles or understand all mysteries. The written word is enough, and so is the call you are walking out today. My dear sisters and brothers, now let us continue our journey by approaching the altar where Jesus sacrifices himself and gives his body and blood to be our grace and power to live out his gospel.